I'm Zara Green, and this is
Alfred Edmund Jr.
and we are The Grown Zone. We're coming again with the second installment of popular relationship advice that you must challenge if you ever want to have healthy relationships. The first was communication is key. If you haven't seen it, go find it. This one is to find true love, then you must understand the opposite sex. This one
drives me crazy. Okay, so you all heard the books about, the probably most popular one, you gotta think like a man. You gotta understand man, the keys to understanding women, the things that women need to hear, the things that men want to get what you want. You've heard it all. And it purports this mythology, I believe it's a mythology, that the key to finding the right person for you of a particular gender is to understand everything about a particular gender. And Zara's heard me say this. That's like saying, I want a particular car. So instead of me getting details about that kind of car, I need to study every other car that's ever been built.
Makes no sense.
It makes no sense. It's about individuality, which happens to be my wife's specialty.
Well, what drives me nuts is, according to every specialist and expert, then I've got too much testosterone and something's wrong with me. Because I am a very direct communicator. I'm very choleric by nature. I know who I am, and I'm not budging on it.
But the flip side, if you approach me as the stereotypical man, you're going to mess up a lot because I'm much more. What's my personality thing? Am I saying
no, you don't know?
You always tell me.
No. You're more melancholy.
I'm more melancholy, phlegmatic.
My
thing is, I'm not,
considered.
Alpha male, aggressive. I'm not. I'm much more of a laid back, creative, sensitive type. And so if you come at me with what they say you're supposed to do to appeal, you're not going to appeal to me at all. We're going to totally miscommunicate.
Absolutely. And y'all, the thing is, the universe knows how to match you up. You're not that smart. The universe knows how to bring who you need to you when you're clear about who you are and what you need.
That's why the Grown Zone starts out focusing on personal growth, self-love, self-understanding, understanding who you are, understanding your own temperament, because you don't need a man or a woman to treat you like every other man or woman.
No.
You need to understand specifically about the care and keeping and love of you, so that way you can be very specific about who's qualified and willing and able to meet those very specific needs. So I tell women all the time, you don't need all men.
Just one.
You don't need to appeal to all men.
And one at a time.
You just need one at a time. And you need to qualify them one at a time. But if you don't look at each person as an individual and assess their temperaments as individuals, but even that's not going to help if you don't know your own.
That's it. And that's where I'm going.
Right. Exactly.
It's about you knowing who you are, because you don't know what you need until you fully accept who you are.
Exactly.
And if you are still trying to become based on a mold that somebody or some organization or something told you ought to be because of gender, y'all, most of the time, the only thing that differentiates all of us is the fact that we have different parts. That's all. But your different parts doesn't mean that the groups need to be treated based on a group.
Right.
Alfred doesn't need to be treated based on all men. I don't need to be treated based on all women. I need to be treated based on the individual that I am. And I don't need no man telling me I got too much testosterone. Right. And the only thing that differentiates us is the fact that I don't have a penis. If a man is that ignorant, he ain't my man. And if a man is that ignorant with you, then do you really want him?
What is individually true about you will always be more important than what you generally have in common with other people.
Come on.
So these books are like, well, women do this, or women should do this, or men do that, or men should do that. And if it creates a false impression of who you are, and a false impression of your own value as an individual.
Oh.
Here's what you need to know: who you are, what is healthy and good for you.
Yes.
And then once you have that, that is your standard for who is healthy for you and who's not. And here's how you can tell if you didn't get your own self-understanding right. You try to change for each person you end up with.
Yes, and that's what ends up happening with a whole lot of people.
Until you've lost yourself.
What do I need to become for
Right.
this
For this
person
person.
to like me, for me to become
Yes.
acceptable for this person. No, that's not where it's at, y'all. It's about understanding self. When you understand self and you really get a hold of you, your temperament, which is my specialty.
Yes.
Your temperament, when you are clear about your temperament and you know what's healthy for you, then you can establish the standards for your own treatment. Then you can establish some boundaries so that other people are not coming to tap dance on your individuality.
Then you could go from chasing and losing
Come on.
to sorting and choosing
Come on.
based on who you are specifically as an individual. So you do not need to know everything about men, nor do you need to know everything about women. You need to know everything about what makes you tick and who you are, so you can recognize the individuals that you encounter and their qualification, their fitness, their suitability to be in relationship with you.
I ain't got nothing else to say. There you go. Until next time, live
And love
in the grown zone.